Former Missouri defensive lineman Michael Sam has come out as gay, and he did so just 2 weeks before the NFL scouting combine. So there's a little bit of dramas with that, but you should keep in mind that this is the first player who has come out as gay. He is not retired. We've had retired players to do it. But he did have an interview with ESPN and the New York Times, and he said the following, quote, "I am an openly proud gay man." And he also said, "I understand how big this is. It's a big deal. No one has ever done this before, and it's kind of a nervous process, but I know what I want to be. I want to be a football player in the NFL." Now, he had come out to the players in his Missouri team previously, and thankfully their reaction to him was very, very positive. He said the following, "I looked in their eyes and they just started shaking their heads like finally he came out."
Yeah, there's a moment there where you're nervous, that like, oh no, what's going to be their reaction? But then it turns out, hey, we're in the year 2013, or we were when he came out to them. And they were like, hey, that's great. Finally you came out. We all already knew that. Now, so let's hope that the reaction in the NFL is likewise, but probably not. There's some chance it's going to be mixed. I think that the teams like and I could be wrong here, but Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots, who usually do a great job of drafting unheralded players, are like, oh, please don't draft him because he's gay. I'll get him in later rounds, and I'll have a great player that you passed on for no reason. Now, Robert Kraft, who owns the Patriots, is a huge Republican. I don't know if he gets involved in the drafting process. I do know the Patriots do a great job of drafting players for when others pass them by for stupid reasons, right? The Steelers are maybe the most liberal organization in all of sports and do a great job of drafting. They got to be thinking, oh, come on, please pass on him, please pass on him. Now, understand that they're not going to pick him in the first round, right? But they might get him in a round that they shouldn't normally get him in because other people pass for stupid reasons. And of course, already there's negative reaction.
Right, so there are mixed reactions. First of all, Ian Rappaport from the NFL has released a statement, and he says the following: "We admire Michael Sam's honesty and courage. Michael is a football player. Any player with ability and determination can succeed in the NFL." However, there was an anonymous personnel assistant with the NFL who released kind of a negative reaction to it. And this person said, "I don't think football is ready for an openly gay player just yet. In the coming decade or two, it's going to be acceptable. But at this point, in this time, it's still a man's man game. To call somebody a gay slur is still so commonplace, it would chemically imbalance an NFL locker room and meeting room." So that's an interesting argument, because there have been a number of players who retired and then they came out as gay, and I don't remember any chemical imbalance in the NFL as a result of that.
Yeah. Well, I love so many parts of that quote.
It's a man's man game.
Yeah, exactly. It's a man game. I mean, a man's man game. It's a game that involves a lot of men, but there's no room for gays at all, okay? When we pile on top of one another, there is no room for... Look, I played football. I love football, right? But who cares, you know? I mean, look, this is the similar arguments they used to make for keeping minorities out of sports, too. And my favorite,
Were
of course...
Were they worried about the minorities staring at the white guy's penis?
Well, there was chemical imbalance in the locker room and all that stuff. Plus, they couldn't play anyway, right? My favorite argument of all time was when they thought that black folks couldn't play basketball.
Yeah.
They're like, how are they going to beat the all-white Kentucky team? Yeah, good luck, black guys. Now, of course, they make the counter argument. Well, what can we do? They're, genetically predisposed, and yeah.
Right. Well, let me give you some more feedback that he's gotten. His former coach in Missouri is extremely supportive, totally loves him, so that's great. But Patrick Crayton is not happy about this news. He thinks that this will destroy the NFL, okay? So let me show you his tweets. First of all, he took a previous tweet and put it in quotes, and that tweet said, Missouri DE, Michael Sam, a projected mid-round pick, said today he's gay, story now on ESPN2. And then his reaction to that was, there goes the NFL. Crayton also says the following, he's trying to figure why announce, kind of questioning why, is this a strategic move by him? He also says, stay in the closet and keep to yourself. So he's just like tweeting a series of tweets where he's just like, this is ridiculous, you shouldn't be doing it. And then of course he got some criticism for that, and then he wanted to clarify just in case you guys thought he might be homophobic or something. He says, a lot of people are mad because I said, there goes the NFL. I say that because now this young man is going to get all the wrong attention for his sexual choice, and a lot of players and execs will get asked about playing with a gay guy, and they're going to have to lie about how they really feel.
Well, maybe they're not lying. Like, you assume because you don't want to play with a gay guy, so you tell us. Okay, you did have sucking issues, but you assume that nobody wants to play with a gay guy. Look, I'm sure that's true for some people. I'm positive of it. That's why it's an issue in the first place, right? But it's certainly not true for everybody, and you're projecting.
Deion Sanders was trying to defend him a little bit, although he seems like he's a little more conservative when it comes to gay issues. He says, God hates the sin but loves the sinner. Let's stop judging others and understand we all sin. Your sin ain't my sin, but we all sin. Truth.
My favorite part of that quote is, your sin ain't my sin. He had to clarify it, because he didn't want anybody thinking like, don't get me wrong.
I'm straight.
Like, I'm straight. Like, I got other sins. But his sins actually, of course, much worse. Okay, let's just keep it real. Okay.
But God still loves him.
Yeah. Deion Sanders, over under on number of times he had premarital sex is 2,874. Right. But hey, you sin, I sin, we all sin. Okay.
But your sin is not my
and,
sin.
And you know, I'm sorry, I know you're in the middle of the reaction, but before I forget this point, there's this, I think, of course, I've never been in the NFL, but there's this sense of, which is why Deion made that side point in the middle of it, of even people who want to defend the guy are worried how it's going to be labeled, because there's just this mindset that's going to get thrown at you. Oh, you know, the way 13-year-olds would do. Oh, so what are you defending him for? So you have to make sure that you, like, dude, I'm saying the right thing, but don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, guy. I'm just a nice guy. And you don't want to be lumped into that whole group, because now you're ostracized. And that's what some of the guys are saying about him coming into the locker room. Oh, he's going to get ostracized. I feel sorry for the guy. Calm down. And I think the most cowardly, whoever the unknown NFL exec or whoever it was that said, I think in 10 and 15 years this will be acceptable. Right now it's not. Something's got to start sooner or later. Nothing changes when you just say it's going to happen sometime in the future when I have nothing to do with it and I can't be a part of it anymore. That's cowardly.
Yeah, and let's be clear about something. I don't think Deion was actually defending him. That whole talk about love the sinner and hate the sin, it's just another way of saying hate the sinner.
I know, but considering what Crayton said, I think that it's a nice contrast to it in the sense that he said, don't judge him. I mean, I like that. I like that he's at least
he's saying judge him. It's code words.
I don't know.
It's what
I don't know anything about that
says.
player, so maybe it's right.
You know, and Deion's religious, which is a joke, which is hilarious, right? But every pastor says the same thing, like, no. I mean, you shall not lie. A man shall not lie with another man, and it's a terrible, disgusting sin. Oh, we don't hate the sinner, we just hate the sin.
Yeah.
It's funny how I didn't mention any of the other sins that you all do, right? Because then you would all leave the church. But I found one person to pick on because that was easier to pick on. But I didn't say hate him. I said hate his sin. So it's bullshit. They're against gays. Deion's against gays. That's his way of saying.
All right, fair enough. So there was some favorable feedback, which is good. Richie Incognito. Didn't Incognito get into a little bit of trouble?
Yeah, he's the bully. Yeah.
Maybe he's like trying to like overcompensate for his image.
Oh yeah, totally. Are you kidding me?
So he tweets to him and says, #respect, bro. It takes guts to do what you did. I wish you nothing but the best.
All right, Incognito.
Jonathan A. Martin says, hats off to you, Michael Sam. That takes some guts. #respect. And the First Lady of the United States says, you're an inspiration to all of us. We couldn't be prouder of your courage both on and off the field. Oh.
All right. Well, look, it's an important day. He'll get drafted. If you're a mid-round pick, you're going to get drafted. Not every team's an idiot, right? And like I said, the Steelers will grab him in a second, is my guess, right? Yeah. He's a good defensive lineman that other people overlooked. Yeah, we'll take him off your hands. It's a good day, man. Like JR said, progress has got to start someday, and apparently it's today. So God bless Michael Sam for saying, Sam, I am.